After leaving the hollow, Hugo and the others return to the video store. Oh, I'm playing as Hugo. Damn, bro, he's tall. Really tall. Since we're already at the video store, should we ask Master Proxy to recommend some films? My apologies, everyone, but I need to take my leave and go take care of my art gallery now. So, you actually own a gallery. I also need a convenient social identity for various reasons. The title of gallery owner works quite well. Alright, I'll stay with Master Proxy for a bit longer. But Hugo, you've been oddly busy lately. You're not hiding something from me, are you? Well, shortly after. Okay. Okay. Well, if it isn't out deer collector, Mr. Hugo, long time no see. I assume you finished the task I asked you to do, yes? Done as promised. I've already found buyers for the goods you gave me. No shortage of big names among them. Of course, I've also recommended your gallery to them as instructed and spread the word about it in the circle. Okay, I skipped that too fast. If you have funding issue, I'm also your guy. I've got friends who offers loan service. Thank you for your concern, but my cash flow is very healthy, and I have more than just you as my middleman. In essence, I am just looking to boost my gallery's reputation in the scene. I see. Those are rare pieces in your collection. Definitely caught a few eyes. I'm sure they're all looking forward to collaborating with you. Thank you for the kind words. Alright, it's getting late. I should head off now. See you next time. Now, time to find that guy. I remember him mentioning that he would dress up in something more presentable this time. And that is? Who is it? Let's meet at Lumina Square. Okay, something more presentable. Okay. When the musician third string breaks, the gatekeeper whispered to me in which hand hides the coin for the underworld ferryman. The left hand holds death, the right hand holds deception, but the raven has already flown away with the answer. Ugh, I can't get over the embarrassment every time I say this. It's quite poetic, isn't it? The meeting with Hartman has been scheduled. He'll be waiting for you in that same private suit. Or should I say, waiting for Hugo, the renowned collector and gallery owner? Thanks, I knew I could count on you. Still, I have to ask, you're not looking to make the Ravenlocks your enemy, are you? And if I say I am? Not like I can stop you anyway. You've already caused a scene at the auction. That robe of heroes stunt. I can't believe you came up with that. Hartman's been on the move lately. That organ trafficking case from before is linked to him too. I also heard that they're dropping big money on some kind of drug research. Ravenlock have always been a bunch of cold-blooded bastards, doing all kinds of messed up things to make your blood boil, and swept everything under the rug with money and power, leaving the victims with no justice. But Hartman, he's the worst of the bunch. Rumor has it that he personally took out the previous heir and clawed his way to the thrones. I know, relax. I don't plan on clashing with him head on. Funny, because I'm reading a manhwa that kind of has the same concept as what Hartman did to the predecessor, pretty much killing him and taking his position. I am reading a certain manhwa that has the same concept and he's the villain. Okay. You'd better not. I don't want to witness Mockingbird's folly of trying to crack a stone with an egg. I prefer to see it as more of a gambit. I can never win an argument against you anyway. Don't forget, the Ravenlock family's in bed with those exilists. Lunatics. Who knows what awful scheme they've been cooking up lately. In any case, as your old friend, I sincerely wish you all the best. Thank you. By the way, how is Lycon doing lately? I haven't seen him in a while. What? I know to split up, but it's been years. Are you still not over it? Don't know. Don't care. If there's nothing else, I'll be going now. Alright, fine. Good luck, man. The students nearby seems to be having an intense discussion, and you hear a familiar name. So that Mockingbird Phantom Thief syndicate only looks flashy, but hasn't actually accomplished anything, right? Tops remains unshakable, and those big families are just a step away from getting total control. It's possible that even the mayor can't keep them in check. But doesn't the mere existence of Mockingbird serve as some kind of warning? Every time they release a crime warning letter, fear erupts among the evildoers. Really? But what can they actually change? In the end, it's probably just a game. To the big shots, Mockingbird is just like a fly, annoying, but not deadly, so they just let it be. So what do you think should happen? If you ask me, you have to dismantle everything from within if you truly want to change. Without power of influence, it's all futile. The first step should be accumulating resources by any means necessary, and if possible, join in tops. After all, to establish a new order, the old one must be demolished, just like how creation requires destruction. That sounds exactly like something a villain would say. If it's really possible to join tops, many would probably defect immediately. True, who would turn down money? It's almost time for the meeting with Hartman. Time to go. Okay, we're going. Okay, your invitation has been confirmed. Esteemed guests, would you like to enter the private suite now? Enter the suite. Let's go. You're the one who has business with Master Hartman? Correct. Master Hartman's time is extremely valuable, and he has graced you with this meeting amid his busy schedule. I sincerely hope you bring something substantial to the family. Haha, worry not. I stand here precisely because I have enough leverage. You had better. Okay.
How about it? Will you work with me?
Not bad. Let me be honest with you. I have the sacrifice core that you're after. I am Mockingbird.
So it's you. I never thought you'd be so bold as to come see me alone.
Relax, my friend. As you know, if I can sneak into such a heavily guarded auction, then naturally, I can just as easily slip away right now. I'm here with the sincere intention to seek cooperation. I can give you that sacrifice core.
And what do you want in return?
Wealth, glory, power. The things everyone else in the world wants, I want them too. And I'm confident that as the current heir to the Ravenlock family, those are all things you can give me.
Then you've certainly come to the right place. My family is working on a big project. If things come to fruition, Ravenlock's status in tops will significantly improve. At which point, I'll be sure to leave a spot for you. Naturally, as an outsider, you're precluded from handling any of our core business. But profits from the scraps alone will be enough to set you up for life.
Mr. Hartman, I think you've misunderstood me. I have no intention of joining the Ravenlock family. In fact, I have an art gallery under my name that does pretty well for itself. I was hoping you could recommend me for tops.
You want to join tops? That's easier said than done. Even for a family like ours, it would still require significant effort and...
Just answer me yes or no. I don't think either of us can afford to waste time.
I understand. Yes, you have my word. But in exchange, you'll have to give me the sacrifice core first.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't. I've already hidden it somewhere safe, a place nobody else but me knows. You don't want to put all your chips on the table when dealing with tops. I know that far too well.
Then that means I also need to keep an eye out when working with the infamous Mockingbird, right?
Mr. Hartman, I should remind you that I stand before you undisguised. coming from a phantom thief who's never publicly revealed his identity. Shouldn't that be sufficient assurance? If I betray you, then you merely need to lift a finger to wipe me from the face of this world.
You do make a valid point there. In that case, you have a deal.
I appreciate your trust.
Why don't we celebrate our new partnership with a toast?
Hartman calls over the waiter and pours out 2 glasses of some expensive-looking deep crimson liquid. He lifts his glass and nods to Hugo before draining it in one gulp. Hugo flashes a smug grin as he follows suit and takes a gulp.
Having a drink before undertaking anything important is a family tradition. It's good luck.
As an outsider, it's a real honor.
By the way, you aren't the only member of your organization, are you? Shouldn't all your companions agree to this deal first?
You don't have to worry about that. I'll make sure she agrees. Otherwise, I'll get rid of her too.
Seems you'll do whatever it takes to get things done. Great things lie ahead for someone like you. All right, let's leave it at that for today. I'll contact you about what to do next.
That's him! He's the one who killed Serena!
She was the only one who was ever any good to him, right? That's how he repays her?
That's why they say once a mongrel, always a mongrel. Just look into his eyes. Father! We have to punish him!
Serena had been ranking ahead of him. Hugo must have poisoned her water so he could pass her.
Pure evil. Typical for an impure bloodline. He should have been kicked out ages ago.
Hugo, did you do all this?
Yes, it was me. I killed her.
He admitted it! Father, he must be expelled!
He has no right to live under the same roof as us.
Why don't we reunite him with Serena then? Nobody would ever know.
Hugo, well done. My children, how many times have I told you before? In this world, only the most ruthless, cruel, and unscrupulous of people ever make it to the top.
God damn, nobles are fucking mental, man. Oh, wow.
Like Hugo here, who was willing to murder his only true loved one without a second thought. Only someone with the means and the gumption to do that is qualified to be my heir.
But I...
It's all over now, and the results are obvious. The winner of this month's assessment is Hugo. As for the rest of you, go to the usual place for the punishment you deserve.
But Father, before this, I was number 1.
As I've told you before, there's only room for one winner in this family. You're still a loser, even if it's by the smallest margin. And there's no reason for a loser to exist.
Holy shit.
This is all for your own good. Do you understand? Go on now. Receive your punishment for the sake of the family.
Yes, I understand. I'm sorry.
That really brought up some unpleasant memories. It won't be long. Soon, it'll all be over.
On the other side, after Hugo leaves. Proxy, you look like you have something to say about that chosen one. Well, truth is, we've always wanted the chance to work with you. Hugo said you're the best proxy he's ever met. The chosen proxy, in other ways, chosen one. Fine, I believe you. By the way, are you free now? If you're not busy, would you mind taking a walk outside with me? Anywhere is fine. You arrive at Lumina Square with Vivian.
Thank you for escorting me here, Proxy. Today was quite eventful. You're a child that only brings misfortune. People have been saying that about me for a long time. I used to feel hurt and resentful. But now that I think about it, it's perfectly normal for people to react that way. Why do I only predict suffering? If I could predict happy things, joyful things, would people like me a little more? Maybe fate truly is set in stone. Often, I want to help these people avoid their miserable fates. For a time, I even thought that I was successful, that I could change people's destiny. But it was all an illusion. In the end, I couldn't do anything at all. So, I was really happy when you said that my abilities weren't a curse, but a gift. Thank you, Proxy. I'm so glad to have met you. And you're also a fan of Lord Phaethon. It's like we were fated to meet.
You just won't believe me, would you?
I don't know why, but I feel completely at ease when I'm by your side. I feel like I'm free from judgment, from blame.
That's a good thing. Always.
Like, I don't need to worry about anything, and can just be my own true self. Perhaps people really do possess an aura, and ours just so happen to be extremely compatible. By the way, you asked me before about Hugo. I don't really know much about him. He rarely ever talks about his past, but judging from his eye colors, you can guess he's probably the bastard son of a renowned family. I think his mother was very worried about his different colored eyes, and even wanted to get rid of him at one point. But then his family offered a huge price and bought him off his mother for some reason. And just like that, he moved from a leaky and drafty boarding room to a luxurious mansion. But he's also mentioned that the extravagant home is actually like hell for him. I think it's probably because the family treats him terribly. I digress. He ran away and ended up meeting Lycon and his master. After that, they formed Mockingbird together and experienced a rare period of happiness. Until Lycon's betrayal.
So, what's your take on Hugo?
I imagine I would still be wandering around now if I had never met him. To me, Hugo is just like an older brother. I've always felt as though he's carrying some heavy burden with him. But that's a secret he's kept to himself. Something he'll never tell me. Sometimes when I look into his eyes, I can feel that he's really struggling with something. Even though he may say some extreme things, Hugo really isn't a bad person. I think one day he'll tell me his secret. Until then, I just have to wait. Wait and trust him.
We're chatting for a while. We say goodnight to Vivian. It's getting late. Time to head back to the video store and get some proper rest. Wise, you're a bit late today? I had a long chat with Vivian. I see. Well, it's getting late. You should call it a day, Wise. Once Vivian and the others get in touch, we'll have a lot of investigation. A lot to investigate. Why is Vivian contacted us? She said you'll be investigating the hollow tomorrow besides her. Hugo and Lycon Ambi, whom we recommended before, will also be joining this operation. She'll explain the details when she comes to pick you up at the video store tomorrow. But are you still planning on heading straight into the hollow like you did the last few times? I'm used to it. Alright, with so many friends around this time, you should be in good hands. I'll wait for you at home then. No matter what happens, remember, safety first. Now, let's get some rest. Let's go. After some good night's rest, blah blah blah, something. I should skip fast. Good morning, Proxy. Long story short, we analyzed the location marked in Bringer's notebook and found no pattern between the coordinates, but they all seem well hidden. Hugo suspects that we might find something stashed at the coordinates, but it's unclear whether it will be pleasant or terrifying. In any case, we need to investigate. Our destination today is the Ballet Twins. Let's head there together. Let's go.
It appears we're the first to arrive. I thought we were running late. This might sound weird, but it's nice to think about getting to work with you from now on. I don't really know why that makes me feel so happy.
This is so sweet.
It's because we're fellow fans! Anyone who likes
No,
Nathan
no,
can't
it's
be
not.
a bad guy.
You're right.
Of course, Lord Phaethon is the greatest there will ever be, but you're definitely the best proxy I've ever met in person. Hugo told me before that you're really skilled, and he said we'd get along great. I never expected he'd be so right. Oh, by the way, would you like to come by my place if you have time later? I have a huge collection of Lord Phaethon merch.
Phaethon, Lord Phaethon doesn't have any merch out there, right? I mean, we don't even know what he looks like, for starters.
It's all my own original merch, like screenshots of old Internet comments. I print them out and turn them into postcards. Plus the avatars Lord Phaethon's used, the music playlists they recommend. I've organized it all. I'd love to show it all to you if we get the chance.
I'm really curious to see all that. Please be sure to show me.
Splendid. Let's book a time and you can come by my place and see all my Lord Phaethon merch. Speaking of which, what's taking those two so long? Hugo said he had some preparations to do before entering the Hollow. I wonder how that's coming along.
Meanwhile, Hugo is preparing for the upcoming operation in another part of Lumina. Same old routine, shopping first. About time to stock up on chocolate anyway. Chocolate? Is that the preparations you need? Really? Right. Rations, bottled water, and those chocolate coins. Oh, those coins were Oh my god, my sister just gave me one of those earlier. Wow, what are the odds? Two things happening at the same time. Damn, bro. I'll take all of them in a bag, thank you. At this moment, a familiar figure appears. Hugo. Oh, what a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you here. Evidently I didn't expect it either. Otherwise, I would have chosen a different store. Are you preparing for the operation? Are you blind? Oh, by the way, thank you for joining us this time and lending your combat prowess. If you could also refrain from revealing our secrets to your dear master, that would be perfect. The manager went over this with me. You have my word that as long as your actions do not cause harm, I will keep everything secret. How awfully kind of you. Alright, I'm short of time, so I'll be off now. Enjoy your shopping. Alright. Let me guess, we gonna meet again? Emergency medications need to be talking to. Guess I'll stick to the ones I'm used to. At this moment, a familiar figure appears once again. I knew it. You know what, Lycon? If I were in your shoes and foresaw an awkward encounter with a former partner, I'd choose to go away. Time is short, and this is the only pharmacy around. Besides, I don't see any need to avoid you. Oh man, Tom and Jerry at its finest.
This is getting to be more than just a coincidence, don't you think? Or perhaps you are
If I was stalking you, you wouldn't ever know.
overconfident as always. You haven't changed at all.
We just make it a habit to check the state of our weapons prior to combat.
Thanks for that little reminder. I almost forgot.
I didn't expect you to let me join.
What else could I do? Master Proxy would have insisted on having you join us. I never expected for us to have a chance to enjoy some pleasant conversation like this. Without our weapons drawn, that is. It really has been too long. I still remember when we first established Mockingbird.
Indeed. That was a long time ago. Thankfully, Jack went in peace.
He must have known about his condition for some time. He even left us with instructions. Passing peacefully in your sleep is the most natural way to go. I'm happy for him. By the way, Lycon, have you given it any thought yet?
You mean about our guild for Phantom Thieves?
Yeah. It's time for us to build an organization of our own. Jack always supported the idea, didn't he?
I don't have any objections. But what should we call it then?
How about Mockingbird? It's a bird known for mimicking the calls of others to blend in. The same way we don high society roles for ourselves when we're out on a mission. Oh, oops. I nearly forgot. You're a terrible actor, and you're always flubbing your lines. I guess we can rule out that name then.
No, call it Mockingbird. We're always just putting on an act, aren't we? I won't slip up on our next mission. Besides, we still ran missions together even when we didn't have a name. Having one now won't really make a difference.
No. It does make a difference, Lycon. And I don't just want a name. I want Mockingbird to become a symbol. Like the sword of Damocles hanging over everyone's heads. Striking fear into the hearts of the rich and cruel whenever they hear the name. Just like Jack used to say, this world isn't fair. So that's why we have to influence it however we can. And change things in our own way.
But on the basis of not causing harm to other people's lives. That's also what Jack used to say. You remember, don't you?
Of course I remember. All right. I promise.
That sounded pretty forced. Don't forget, things don't end well for people who break their oaths.
I'm good for my word. You must trust your fellow companions. That's also something Jack would say. Well then, today's the day that Mockingbird will officially start flying. Our first order of business, deciding on our symbol.